Hi everyone. So today I'll be going over how I note taking for my classes in pharmacy school. It helps me a lot to condense my notes. So instead of like reviewing a lot of materials, I have condensed notes. It's like condensed notes. It's like a cheat sheet, like how you create cheat sheets into your classes. Like how some classes your undergrads have like allow you to use cheat sheet, but do you realize that when you go to exam day and you don't really refer back to your cheat sheet a lot because whatever you review from there, it's basically a little imprinted in your mind. So I use the same technique when it comes to my note taking for every single classes at my pharmacy school. So there's two way of note taking, actually three ways. One is either your teacher provide you the PDF form or a PowerPoint or um or none of the PDF or PowerPoint where you have to read the book. So for reading the book, I have created a note template taking. If you guys need it, just let me know. I'll send it to with you, but it's the same thing. So if, for example, if you have a PowerPoint, so what I do is I download and open the PowerPoint. Give me a second. So what I did is, sorry, it was kind of loud out there. So what I did is I opened the PowerPoint. Okay. So what you can do is you go to File and you go to Export, right? Create Handout. And when you create Handout, make sure you select the option Outline Only. So when you select the outline only, whatever the words that are on the PowerPoint will be transported into the Word document automatically. But some of the pictures, for example, doesn't transfer over. So you have to do manually by copy and paste the pictures. Some of you will be asking me like, why is it even like necessary to condense these notes when it's all here? You can just read it. So my answer is that if you can do that. Honestly, you can do that if you have like a good, very photographic memory. When the time exam hits, imagine how many slides you have to review, and it's very hard because once you review going slide by slide, it's so hard to like see what is before, what's the connections. Basically, you can just memorize, but you don't see a big picture, and that's what's hard um, when it comes to exams. And teachers usually very tricky, asking like not just based on your memories, whether you understand the whole concepts. Okay, so this is once I import it in here, this is how it looks like. What I do is I select all, and then I start doing my editing. So I put usually I use 6 font, and I use Times Romans, but you can pick whatever it wants. Oops. Um, 6 font, Time New Romans. Oh. Okay. And some of the time when you get notes from PowerPoint, it has bulleting from itself. What you can do is you can bullet them on yourself, on your own notes, and also you can unbullet it. Once you unbullet, it will get rid of all the bulletings that come from the PowerPoints. Then you can go to layout. From that on, you can create 4 columns. Actually, start out first with landscape. So then that will give you more space. And I go to column and I create 4 columns. And the spacing in between here, it's so big that take up space. I reduced it to like 0.2. And you see how there's more spaces around here? We don't want those spaces to take up the notes. So our whole point is to try to condense our notes as much as we could. You know, sometimes our brain get tricked if we see a lot of materials and it get tired out and it wouldn't process better. So better when you condense it, it kind of helps your brain to organize. So you can condense by go to margins, and this is the top, and you can, what I put is 0.2, and it's okay because if you use the app Good Notes, it will help you see the materials, but these are not in the printable size, so when you print, some of the material will cut off. But it's okay if you have the Good Notes, you know, just use your iPad with the Good Notes. So when I condense it, it'll pop up saying some margins are outside of the printable area. Just ignore that. You see a 22 slides, and there are some more spaces in here. You can do them manually if you want, but typically what I do, I don't know if your computer has that system. What I do is I go to the layout that I created earlier. I select earlier. So when I clicked up on this one for left, it automatically fixed my indentations. And also you can do that for all the others. Also the spacing. I know some of your computer Microsoft has like options where you can number them. Make sure you get it into like a 0. That'll be reducing the space here. So after that, I think that's pretty much it. And so this is how it look after I inputted the pictures and everything. And these are the highlighters that you can do on your laptop, but once you go into your Good Notes, you can even highlight it more. So it helps me better to review this. Imagine I just read it several times back and forth. I would definitely remember what it is, you know. I remember where it is. I'm not honestly, I'm not photographic. I do not have photographic memory, so it's hard for me to remember things, but it helps when these is small and I can able to locate where it is. I'm better at spatial memory, so I try to organize everything, and when I see a big pictures, help me remember better. And okay, this is one technique with PowerPoints. But if it's with PDF, I don't know if you guys computer have that systems, because my computer just like if I right click them, I can, for example, right here, if I right click them and I select open with, I can automatically transfer them into Word documents. But I know some of the MacBook and Apples, what I have is an Acer. I can do that, but some of the other computer cannot. What you can do is you can go online. This is a website I typically tell my friend. You can search on Google for like PDF to document, and it will pop up any free link, a free website where you can convert your PDF to document. So you can upload your file and it will convert to document. You can just download that, and once you download it, pop up just like I showed you earlier to condense your notes. You can just do the same way like I show you how to do with the PowerPoint. But as for there's a third technique which teacher doesn't provide the PowerPoints or PDF form. What you can do is what I created, a note template. It's the same thing like condensing orientations, using the landscape orientation, columns, and fix the margins and control the indentation. It helps you condense a note. So this is how I created my template like that. So when I do my readings, I just like take notes in here. It looks very small, but you can like zoom in, and yeah, you can zoom in and just focus on one specific column, and you can just take your notes from then. And techniques I use is like make sure like when teacher gave you like objectives, you list out your objectives here and whatever lecture that is, and then you just make your own like bulleting or whatever. And once you have that, and my technique is just use those topic. For example, if the topic is about like physiological function, if it's about that, you can just put that on the bottom. This is on the objectives, but you can put that on the bottoms, and then whatever you're reading is about those physiological functions, you can put it under that topic. So when you review, you understand the connections. So that's pretty much it. That's how I use my notes, and that's how my sister and I have been doing that for our pharmacy school, and it's been relaxing for us to, like, we just basically have this note and we review like a night before. We have like IRAD and stuff, like before the readings. We would review, take out like 30 minutes or an hour to review these, and not only help us for the class reading quiz, but it also helps us for exams, since we already reviewed them several times. And it's honestly, it's very helpful so far, and if you guys can use this technique, it would definitely help with your undergrads. I wish I could know this like way longer, way sooner. Sorry, way sooner when my undergrads. It would be helpful more than just like print out a bunch of PowerPoints or a bunch of slides to just review. It's so hard. Honestly, from my perspective, it's so hard to see the main point of the lectures when there's so many slides. Like my brain gets tired out just like going slide by slide, like just going on. It's like endless, and I'm just trying to get through every single slide, but it's so hard for me to connect all the points together, and that's what is so tough. And just once again, like, how you create cheat sheets, you never really use them on exams. Honestly, it's already in your mind. And that's same thing basically with this stuff. Some of you may questions like, why bother to condense everything when you have like the PowerPoint there for you? It's a waste of time. Yes, it's waste. You say it's a waste of time, but when it comes to exams, it's different. You will have a shorter material to review, and also it's up to you. If you have time, you can just go into your notes and even like take out the unnecessary stuff, like condense it even more if you have time. But what I do is I use the Good Notes app. It's called Good Notes. When I first got it, it was free, but I don't know how much it costs now. Maybe around $4 or $5. This app is pretty cool. Okay, you can highlight, you can underline, and you can also like input notes, input pictures. So when you have the notes that you make during lecture, if teacher give like give extra PowerPoints slide that you think important, you can import the picture using the app. Like you can just take a picture at the moment and input it into this app. This app is definitely a lifesaver. Honestly, helps you organize everything together, and it's very convenient. I know some other apps has like eraser where you cannot minimize the size, and whenever I try to unhighlight things, it clear out everything, like all the big chunk. But that's not what I wanted. This one you can adjust the size, and as well as like you can straighten. It has an option where you can straighten out your highlighting. So for example, like when I highlight things so crooked, but then it has the option where you straighten it. You can highlight like straight, and if you draw a circle, it will like automatically realign in like a perfect orientation circle. And it's very helpful, honestly. If you can do this, I guarantee you'll do well in your classes. Not only it helps you with your class, especially if those who are planning to go pharmacy school, it helps you with your pharmacy school class, but it also helps you with your NAPLEX later on when you take the NAPLEX. Easier for you to review all the classes, because imagine, I remember one of my biopharm class where I only have like 8 pages of notes, like the final was like almost come up to like 800 and 900 slides, but then I was able to condense it's around 200 or 300 slides. I was able to condense that to like 8 pages of printable, actually 6 pages of printable papers. That was when I didn't know how to use the Word document. I handwritten them, but this time I was like my sister and I figured out a better way of just like condensing it, because it's so hard, because I can't hard it's hard. Every people have different handwriting, so hard to read my sister handwriting or sometimes hard to read my own handwriting. So it'll be very helpful. So if you have any questions, if you need any more tips about anything, just let me know. Willing to be there for you to help. So just yeah, so just good luck with your note taking and your schooling. So feel free to ask me questions anytime, okay? Alright, thank you guys.